So enterprise risk management is nothing but the risk management of the entire enterprise or the company. Okay, it is done by the financial risk manager of the company. Okay,
Yeah.
so why there is a need for need to manage risk? You know, risk can have like adverse impact on the company. So it is very important to like
Manage
minimize
the
that
risk.
risk or mitigate that risk. Correct? Now,
Okay.
so ERM is differentiated from more traditional risk management because ERM is a process for developing a top-down view of key risks facing the organization. That means we would rank the risks. We will come from the top to the bottom, and we'll prioritize the risk which can have a very higher impact on our company. We have seen through mappings even where there is certain risk which we should always avoid, whereby the frequency is very high and the financial impact it can have is very high. We have already seen that. So we should, so ERM, enterprise risk management, is nothing but it is a process for developing a top-down view of key risks facing the organization. So ERM approaches risk management both from individual department perspective and from the perspective of the organization as a whole. So they study the department, the risk, specific risks for specific departments, and they also study the risk of the entire organization, or the risk exposed, or the organization risk, the organization exposed to the to the collective risks, whatever the organization is exposed to, they see that, or the entire organization they'll consider for risk, for studying the risk exposure. Fine, and they'll be trying to mitigate the risk. Now, we've already seen ERM is designed to coordinate risk identification. First, they'll identify the risk and they'll assess, they'll study the risk, and then they'll do the management. And like they'll try to cover up maximum every area of the organization. Okay, and
Right.
and they'll always try to reduce the possibility of overlooked risks. That means something which are seen, which are very which there's a general perception that have less impact, but may have a higher adverse impact, can have higher adverse impact in the in coming future, but they will not rule out any of the risks. Okay, now ERM and a portfolio view of risk. See, enterprise risk management is rooted in modern portfolio theory as used in investing. So, you know, portfolio is nothing but instead of investing your money in one single stock, or picking one company for your investment, it is always better for you to invest in 2 or 3 securities. Okay, don't put all the eggs in one basket. This example I've given a number of times. Why?
Right.
Because like there's a high risk. So if you divide those eggs in 2 or 3 baskets, then there's less chance of, like, still if one basket is like accidentally, if it falls from your hands, so still you have other 2 baskets whereby you have eggs and you can use them. So in the same way, if you invest in 3 or 4 companies or 5 company stock, or you take a like mutual fund whereby you have different stocks in them, that's called portfolio view of investment, whereby if one company does not perform well, the other companies may definitely give you returns. Okay, that's what.
Okay.
So so modern portfolio theory is an investment philosophy that argues for the construction of an optimal portfolio of securities according to risk and return. So you should always try to make certain portfolio which should match or suit your risk appetite, and should give you proper returns for the amount of risk what you're taking. Okay, so according to portfolio theory, a particular security should not be evaluated as standalone investment. Rather, each individual security should be evaluated according to how its market value is expected to vary in relation to market values of other securities in the portfolio. That means we should not like evaluate a security like in the sense what they're saying. What is the general uh, like uh, uh, agenda of a portfolio theory? It's nothing but, according to this theory, a particular security should not be evaluated as a standalone investment. That means you should not take one security and you should completely put your money in that, but you should make a portfolio, and in such a way that you should whatever the securities you are picking for your portfolio, you should compare how that will give benefits when compared to other securities. That's what you should see and make a portfolio. Now, ERM takes a similar view of risks, managing risks separately and in isolation, also known as silo approach. See, if you take each and every risk separately and in isolation, that means you are not seeing the correlation between two risks. Like I told you, if you don't see the credit worthiness of, if a bank does not properly check the credit worthiness or credit ratings of a particular customer, he may default. So this can lead to that. There's a very much, there is a interrelationship in that, but you should also study these two risks in isolation at times, correct? So managing risk separately and in isolation, also known as silo approach, is short-sighted. They do that, but it's a short-sighted thing in the sense because you are not seeing the effect of one which can lead to another risk. Are you understanding?
Yeah.
That
We
means
don't
you
know
should
that. Yeah.
yeah, you should properly understand the interrelationship among risks and you should study them collectively. That means
Okay.
collective damage should be seen. So
Okay.
not only can risks that are negatively correlated, in the sense when one risk is increasing, other risk will fall. This is called negative correlation, reduce overall risk, but risks that are positively correlated, it means one of the risk is increasing, like credit risk can lead to default risk. These two are like increasing. Now, if this is high, this can be very high.
Correct.
So can multiply the damage. ERM
Okay.
endorses evaluating risk as a portfolio of events. That means how you do the portfolio, like you take the portfolio in what way. The maximum benefit you get from a portfolio is when there is a negative correlation. That means if one stock goes up, another stock goes down, still you may have returns. How? If this is going up by 10%, this is going down by 5%, still 10 minus 5 is 5, and 5 by 2 is 2.5. Still you are getting returns. Am I right?
Yeah.
So that is what it is. So negative correlation is good, but positively correlated ones can give you very high returns or very high losses. So we don't take these kind of portfolios. Okay, it is better to take single company than these kind of portfolios whereby the correlation is positive. Why? Because if they give returns, they give very high. If they give losses, they give very high losses. So negatively correlated, uh, like. Uh, like like a portfolio whereby the stocks or the investments whatever you are doing into is negatively correlated, it is much more better to minimize your risk. So this is an example.
Okay.
Yeah. How a multinational corporation might evaluate the risks associated with a domestic currency that begins to decline in value. So there's a MNC and they are
Okay.
kind of, they are worried about the currency risk, and they have their own domestic currency and its value is going down when compared to another currency. Let's say Indian rupees is 85 for $1 right now. If it goes to 90, Indian currency is falling, correct? That's not
Correct.
good for us now, because our good, like in fact that's good for us because our goods are going to become more cheaper in the outside market, but our imports can be very costly. Okay.
True.
On the one hand, the cost of raw material purchase, that's what they mean here. If you purchase raw material from outside countries, then how? Then it will
Then
be
how?
costly for you, correct?
Yeah.
Because
True.
your currency value has gone down, so imports are costly. So internationally would increase, making production more expensive. On the other hand, the multinationals export business increases, improving sales and profits. One side you have benefits, other side you have
Loss.
adversity. Yeah, well, like in the sense you are losing something. Now, absent a portfolio view of risk, the multinationals various divisions and departments would have differing objectives in their risk assessment strategies, with the potential for conflicting goals and outcomes. So they may have different strategies and those strategies may have some conflicts. Okay, the purchasing department might choose to hedging is nothing but minimizing your risk against the falling currency with currency options. So what they can do, they can take options for that. I have already explained you about options, correct? One time by taking that school example, admission form of a school. Hello.
Yeah, sir. Hmm.
Did you, like, we have discussed about options now once?
Options. I don't remember, sir, about
No,
options.
I gave an example of three schools: international school, mid-level school, and one is like nearby school, and we take the
No,
admission
no, no.
form. No.
No.
Okay, okay. See, options are like, I'll explain about options. Yeah. So this option is one of the tools, or it's called a derivative. Okay, because it derives its value from the underlying asset. A derivative is nothing but kind of a contract whereby you fix prices today to buy something in the future at the price which you fixed with someone. Understood?
Right.
So for example, if I have made a contract with you that in after 6 months I want to buy something from you, and let us make a contract for that today itself with the price what is prevailing today. So why I'm doing like this? I think in future the prices may go very high, and you think the prices can go down. So we both of us have different mindsets. That is always there.
Right.
Sellers and buyers have different mindset. Correct. Correct.
Right.
So like the market works in that way. So what you would do is, like, you would be entering into contract with me and I will be entering into contract with you, whereby we fix a price, and on that price we I'll buy that particular goods from you. Okay. But
Okay.
in that case, the price which I fixed, I should buy at that price only. If the prices go up, it's benefit for me. Okay, it's a loss for you. But if the price goes down, it's a loss for me, it's a benefit for you. Correct?
Right, sir.
So here I'm speaking about a forward contract. What is that?
Forward contract.
But option is something different from a forward contract. Okay. So why it is different is, options give you a certain kind of immunity. I'll tell you how. So you'll always exercise this option if you are always, if you think that you are in benefits rather than losses. Whenever you see that a deal is a loss making deal, the option gives you a particular immunity to save yourself from that loss making deal by just not exercising that option, in the sense by just leaving it like that, or letting it lapse. Okay. Now these points are kind of vague things, which are like creating some like illusionary points in your mind maybe. So I'll tell you what I mean with this. There is a
Mm.
suppose it's your cousin, you want to enroll him in a school. Okay. And you're considering three options: a nearby school, and a school which is like 5 kilometers away, and a school which is 20, 10 15 kilometers away. So you, with the range itself, you can understand the school size and the schools uh,
Mm.
like the in what massive way they operate. Okay. So it's
Right.
very clear that this school is very nearby. So it's a local school. The fees is also moderate, and the thing is, like, this school is not of some international standard. Okay, every school is good. No school is like bad. We can't criticize a school's credentials with this size, but it has more. This lacks in some facilities. This lacks in more facilities. It's a big school, so sports and all facilities would be better in this. Correct? These guys have to book a ground. These guys have their own ground. So these are the factors. See, sports is equally very important. We don't give any importance to sports in India, but in outside world, sports is equally very important. That's the reason why we don't get medals, but we get good jobs in US. Correct?
True. Yeah,
And
yeah.
those people get good Olympic medals, but less jobs in US. That's what they don't look for American dream or whatever. That's it's secondary matter. Now, the point here is, Indians have a different mindset. So this school is like charging a fees of 50,000 rupees per annum. It's charging some like 1,50,000, $150,000 like rupees, 1,50,000, and this is charging around 4 lakh rupees. Okay,
Okay.
so all the three schools you have here. Now, what happens is, if any of these schools you have visited thrice or four times, and at home you already finalized that I will take admission in this school. Okay.
Right.
And
Hmm.
you negotiated with them and they gave you a deal like, okay, 3.5 is what we'll charge for you, and you gave them the amount, 50% amount today, or you signed an agreement with them. 50% amount you gave and 50% on the day of admission. Okay. Now here you are bound. You and the school guys are bound with the contract. Okay, the contract binds you both the parties. Why? Because you have signed an agreement, na? A contract.
Correct.
Now
Yeah.
if you are transferred to some other city, or let's say there's a change of mind, like no, it's very costly for me, whether I will be able to afford, whether I'll be able to afford this particular fee structure or not, it's a big question mark for you, but nothing you can do about that. Like this comes under the category of forward contracts to some extent. Okay, because you fixed a price now, and they
Correct.
have
Correct.
finalized some price, and okay, fine, I will not say exactly forward, but today only you have made an agreement that I'll pay 3.5 to you after 6 months and I'll take the admission, so that's okay. You cannot opt back now. If you opt, then you need to make the full payment to them, because the agreement binds you and school, and if school denies, you can ask them your money back. So it's not going to happen, correct? So that is what it is. But now coming to option. So now what you did is, all these schools are giving you options to take admission. You know what is option? You can fill the admission form. What you can
Okay.
do?
We can fill the admission form.
So the admission form is of 500, the admission form is of 1000, the admission form is of 2000. You fill this, you fill this, you fill this. They said you can come to the interview, and everything is like after 6 months. In this 6 months, you have very good time and ample time with you to decide or finalize whether which school you want to pick.
Okay.
Understanding?
Yes.
Now
Yes.
you pick this one because this happens to be in your budget, and if any transfers or something happens, still you can manage, and you let these two ones lapse because they are not of benefit to you. Okay, and you finalize this. So what is it? In this case, you have not taken the admission directly by making an
Mhm.
agreement or contract, but you have taken the option to take admission. What is that?
Option to take admission.
That option to take admission you will only exercise if you
Okay.
think that you are benefiting from that particular option. Okay, so you are benefiting from this, so you finalized and you let these lapse. This is option.
Okay.
So in case of option, what happens is, when you think that things are in loss, that means if it's a loss making deal, you'll always lapse, and if it's a profit making deal, you'll always go for it. Okay, but now
Right.
the question is, what is the minimum loss in this case? So the minimum loss will be nothing but the admission form fees. So you'll be only losing 2500, but not that entire amount which you would have lost in the case of the other option or alternative. Correct?
Right.
Other if you would have not taken this admission forms, you'd have paid that money, and you would have finalized the seat, and if you would have got transferred, then you would have paid the entire money. But since they are not forcing you for the admission, na, they're giving you these options, so the minimum loss is 2500. Correct? Even though,
Yep.
like, if you don't opt any of them, then also your maximum loss will be, that's it,
Totally.
but not more than this. Correct or wrong?
That's right.
That's what, that is option. Okay, yeah, just a second, Suman, just a second.
True.
Yeah, so now let's go forward. So this particular, whatever the option I have explained you, now I can send you some videos today so that you can watch them and understand it in a more better way. Okay,
ठीक है.
yeah, it's very interesting. If I send you, you'll be finding it very interesting. Now, so we were discussing about currency options. Yeah. So the purchasing department might choose to hedge against the foreign currency with currency options. So this is the way they can hedge. They can take that means they can fix some price of Indian currency against dollar, and they will buy the currency at that price only. Okay, okay, and
Okay.
they will look forward the day when they have to exercise that option, because option you have to exercise at some maturity date. It will mature in 3 months, let's say. See, the admission also you have to take in 6 months now. That was the maturity date. Just a second. Yeah. So like in the same way, if you take currency option also, it has a maturity of 3 months, let's say. So you fixed like the price of $1 as 90. You thought that the dollar is going to appreciate and the rupee is going to depreciate to furthermore extent. Like $1 can be equal to like 90, like say 100. You thought that it's going to go 100. You fixed it for how much? 90. Am I right?
Yeah.
So in the future, after 3 months, when the dollar has gone to 100, this is called the market price. This is called the exercise price or strike price. So you can buy the dollar at 90 and sell at 100, no? And make a 10 rupees profit, correct?
Right.
But if it goes to 80, you will not
Then it will be
exercise the
difficult.
option. You let it lapse.
Yeah. Yeah.
But for that, you need to make the minimum loss will be your premium. Premium is nothing but there we discussed admission form fees, correct? To
Yeah.
take admission, if you are approaching a school, you have to first fill up the form. In the same way, if you want to take an option contract, you have to pay some premium to the broker. So let's say 5 rupees, let's say 2 rupees is the premium. Okay, 2 rupees is the
Right.
premium. So in case if your profit is like 10 rupees, that this is called value of the option minus 2. So 8 rupees is your net profit. But in the case if the loss is, it's a loss making deal, it's going to 80, minimum loss is 2 rupees, the premium payment. That's it. Okay.
Right.
So you save yourself from a bigger loss, no? By taking the
Yeah.
option. That's what. So people do option trading with this kind of, if you know how to trade in the stock market with the usage of options, you can trade. Okay. But you should do proper usage and you should have good command over the good command or knowledge about trading.
Right.
But I would suggest, until unless you have very stable income, never go for this intraday tradings. Generally
Yeah.
employees, they don't go, because for intraday trading you have to be completely, you have to engross yourself in this only. There are some other
I know.
guys, there are some other guys who would say that I'll do this for you, I'll give you returns, but no. Once you have very good stable income and good savings, then that's, you can do that. That's the reason why I say SIP mutual funds are good. You can start a SIP immediately with
Which
ICICI
one you
Prudential.
suggest?
ICICI Prudential is good. There are some
I see.
various SIPs in the market. Na? ICICI Prudential you have, Motilal Oswal you have. So it depends like
Okay.
what is your appetite, like whether you want to go into like which kind of fund. I'll suggest you some good fund. So you
Okay.
can start monthly with 2000 rupees also. Every month you can deposit. I've been doing, me and Mada have been doing since 2018.
Okay.
She pays 2000, I pay 2000, 4000 we are doing.
Acha.
Like, so
So we withdraw anytime, like.
it is any time withdrawable. So what is happened is, I'll tell you, we have invested around, so 2018 we started. We have invested 48,000 in
Okay.
2018 19, then 19 20 48,000, 2021 again 48,000, and 122 again 48,000. This year again we will be having 48,000. So 240 we have invested. We are seeing
Okay.
return of around it has become, this has become how much, 2 lakh 80 or something it has become. So we got
Okay.
40,000. 40,000 divided by 240. That is 16 plus percentage I'm getting returns.
Acha.
Yeah, that is what. So 16 plus percent returns I'm getting. Just a second, Suma.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's what it is. And now coming to yeah. So while so you can also plan a good investment in that case. SIP would be a very good thing to go for.
Okay.
You can start with at least 5,000 at least if you can make it
Mm-hmm.
5,000 or 2,000 from your side, 2,000 from your husband's side. That may make a
Mm-hmm.
portfolio of 4,000 at least. That's a good one.
Okay.
At
So we
least
can withdraw anytime, and what would be the
yeah, you can
minimum?
withdraw anytime. I have a fund of 2 lakh 83 lakhs right now almost. But I'm not
Okay.
withdrawing. I'm just continuing. When I want, I will see. Otherwise, it goes on. So I'll tell you after this, like after explaining till here, over the exam, the class will be done. I'll tell you what happens. So while at the same time treasury function would hedge against the same event with currency futures. Yeah, see, you can use options, futures for minimizing your currency risk. Am I right?
Right.
So futures, I will share the video with you. What is futures? You'll understand. It's similar to forward only, but I'll explain you how. That video will explain you how. Without the kind of coordination that a portfolio view of risk provides, it is likely that these departments would waste company resources and squander profitable opportunities. Yeah. So what they are saying, without the kind of risk coordination that the portfolio view of risk provides. See, portfolio view of risk provides you like what kind of mechanism methodology you are using or what kind of derivatives you are using to minimize the risk. There are some two derivatives they are considering, correct? The purchase department might choose to hedge against falling currency with options, while at the same time treasury function, that is the head department. This is purchasing department, na? There is one treasury department also in a company, correct?
Right.
So treasury department will see to minimize this risk with currency futures. So what happens without the coordination, kind of coordination that a portfolio view of risk provides, it is likely that these departments would waste money, resource, and squander profitable opportunities. So these departments are not in a common consensus. Someone wants to use options, someone wants to use futures, okay, and without the kind of coordination, they are not having coordination, correct? And
True.
if they have, if they consider that this particular risk can be minimized with different scenarios or other options. So these departments may even when they are not in common consensus, and if they pick a wrong kind of or derivative to minimize their losses, okay, then they may go into losses even, correct?
Right.
So, with a portfolio view of risk, our management would be able to take macroscopic view. Macroscopic view is nothing but overall view. Assess the overall needs of company and execute a coordinated response to currency decline. It may be that the effect of currency decline on purchasing and its effect of sales and profits would offset each other. So, what they're saying, with a portfolio view of risk, that means not putting your resource into only one particular option. If the management would be able to take macroscopic view, that means the overall view, holistic approach, assess the overall needs of company and execute a coordinated response, that means with good discussion, treasury and purchase not having different opinions, having with a good discussion and debate, having a common opinion for this currency decline risk, then it may be that the effect of currency decline on purchasing and its effect of sales and profits would offset each other. That means that you are taking you are having this decline, na? The currency is going to decline, that you know. But if you take a proper derivative to minimize that risk, then that benefit from the derivative and the, so I'll tell you, you're not understanding, I'll tell you. Suppose the currency right now is $1,
Hmm.
85 rupees. Okay, this is the current scenario.
Okay.
Now we have come to know that the dollar is going to appreciate and rupee is going to depreciate. So $1 is equal to 90. I have taken an option, okay, of how much.
Okay.
$1 is 90. So now
Yeah.
here, let's say this is a call option, okay. Now if you take futures also, we can work out this one. $1 is equal to 90. So I can take a long position in futures contract. So there in futures, I may get some profits in futures, and these options and futures are two different things to understand. See, $1 is 85 now. Here I have taken
$1.
an option.
Hmm.
Yeah, I have taken an option thinking that the value would go up, correct?
Right.
So or else say I have taken a futures contract. Futures contract to buy. Buy what? Dollars, correct?
Yeah. Hmm.
So now, like let's say uh, if $1 has become $1 has become, okay, I'll not sell futures. Like I have taken a short position in futures contract. Short position means I want to sell that, or else we can
Hmm.
take put option also. What we can do?
We'll take put option also.
Put option also. Put
But
option
we
is
should
also,
know it, right?
yeah.
Whether
Put
it
option
will
is,
go it or not.
there are two
Hmm.
options. Call option is option to buy. Put option is option to sell. Okay.
Ah.
So now we have taken a short position in futures contract whereby $1 is equal to 90. That means we will sell $1 for 90 rupees. How much?
$1 for 90 rupees.
$1 for 90
Wait.
rupees. So what will
Hmm.
happen is we are waiting for what is going to happen in the normal market. This is futures market. This is a
Right.
different market. This is a different market. Okay. This we call spot market. What we call
Spot market.
spot market. So now instead of picking up, the dollar has started going down. So it's gone to, like, dollar has started depreciating, not appreciating. We thought that it will appreciate maybe, okay, correct,
Okay.
but it is going down.
Right. Right.
Dollar has become
Hmm.
75 rupees. So if you want to buy $100 here, you have to pay 7,500 rupees, correct?
Right.
Previously, no, okay, not $1 has gone 90 rupees. So previously, how much you were paying? 85. Now how much you have to pay?
85.
90. So 9,000 rupees you have to pay for $100, no?
True.
So previously you are paying 8,500. Now you are paying 9,000. So how much is the extra amount you are paying?
5.
It's a loss for you, no?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
This loss can be offset in the future, in the futures market. How? $1 has become how much? Let's say in futures market it has gone to 70. How much? Let's say it
70.
is gone to, in futures market it is, let's say it's like falling. Let's say it is like 85. Let's say, okay, how much it has gone to? How much?
85.
85.
85.
So even though it has gone to 85, you can still sell at what price? You decided to sell at what price?
90.
90. So you'll get a gain of,
5. Yeah.
so this will offset the loss, na? This will make it zero.
Yeah.
Finished.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to explain you. Okay. So this one we will take tomorrow because of
अच्छा
this
ठीक है.
because of these options and all. The discussion has gone lengthy. Otherwise, we would have like taken up like more pages we would have covered. But okay,
हाँ
one or two class. This is done. How about? Okay.
ठीक है ठीक है ठीक है.
Okay, Suman. Then like tomorrow again, I will be ready for the class at 1 p.m. dot. Tomorrow, however, I'll be ready. Okay.
ठीक है. All right, sir.
Okay. Okay, Suman. You want me to call for that? I'm calling. 2 minutes.